Alright then, let's get it. Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you are all doing well today, mate. I really do hope that. Now, welcome back to Chelsea News, the not-so-daily series here on Football Therapy, where I go across football, news, media, see what's being said about the Blues, giving you my opinion on it, but more importantly, asking for yours. And there's three things I want to talk about today. I want to talk about Chelsea's left-footed centre-half who had a really good display in the Champions League against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, Malang Sarr. Could he feature for Chelsea sooner rather than later? Could he be the Thiago Silva replacement? Maybe. Billy Gilmour is back in contention in the Chelsea squad. A shout out for him, how he could be really important for Chelsea Football Club moving forwards. And what will become of Jorginho in Frank Lampard's 4-3-3 system where CDM's, the lone six, looks a little bit different? Does he have a future here? He's such a professional player in the way he handles himself, and I want to go through that and give you my opinion on Jorginho and Chelsea. Get comfortable, boys and girls, it's going to be a fun video today. A quick notification that this content is brought to you by OneFootball. Woo! Yes indeed, OneFootball is for you, me, and everyone who loves football, giving you everything you might ever need regarding said beautiful game. Statistics, lineups, fixtures, results, transfer news, general news, match alerts. It's completely free, ladies and gentlemen. And it's sponsoring Football Therapy today, so do yourself the favor of checking out OneFootball by clicking the link in the top of the description. Alright then, let's get into today's video. Right, let's start off with some good positive news and the return of Billy Gilmour. That's right, the Scottish Iniesta is training with the Chelsea first team in full fitness, smiles on his face, and it's a pretty feel-good thing, man. Now, I don't need to tell you guys how good Billy Gilmour is as a footballer. Of course, before football had that break due to the pandemic, Billy Gilmour got back-to-back Man of the Match awards in two different competitions against the Merseyside Giants. Of course, a 2-0 win against Klopp's Liverpool and a 4-0 win against Ancelotti's Everton. Billy Gilmour won Man of the Match in both Premier League, FA Cup, dominated Merseyside, and he was the talk of the town. Incredible, moving the ball very, very quickly indeed, sticking his leg in when he needs to make a tackle and interception. Great vision, great use of the ball, recycled possession very, very quickly indeed, and actually made Chelsea look a lot better as a team. He sort of superpowered both Mason Mount and Ross Barkley at the time, who were flanking him as eights. Of course, Mason Mount has come on since then and his form has gone incredibly high by himself, but at the time, Billy Gilmour made the team tick and look better. Now, in a time where Chelsea fans are concerned what they're going to do in the absence of N'Golo Kante, potentially Billy Gilmour can come in and fill that void. Now, he won't be running around and mopping up quite like N'Golo Kante can do for Chelsea at the moment, so it does raise an eyebrow. How are we going to play? Is it, it's great that he can move the ball quickly and we can play differently, but the way Chelsea has been winning with N'Golo Kante is not the same way, personally, I think, we'd play with Billy Gilmour in that role. So it's an interesting one to keep an eye on. He's an incredibly high quality player, but I have my reservations of Chelsea's current performances. Would they be able to maintain the same style of play, putting Billy Gilmour in that lone six over N'Golo Kante? I'm interested in getting your thoughts and opinions on this, so please do drop those down in the comment section below. And you know what? Let's move on to the next story in today's video. Let's keep in that lone CDM number 6 role and talk about Jorginho. Of course, he did the pre-match press conference for the Sevilla game, and he was very, very impressive the way he spoke about Chelsea, fighting for his place, having good team spirit, and generally just being very, very positive. I personally have been incredibly impressed with Jorginho's professionalism and attitude, not just recently, but of course ever since he joined Chelsea under Maurizio Sarri. He got a lot of difficult moments from the Chelsea fan base, and then he won them over, worked hard, kept his head down, didn't sulk, and before the end of that first season, they were singing his name at Stamford Bridge. A true success story in terms of winning Stamford Bridge over. Frank Lampard comes in, makes him vice-captain, sees his leadership abilities and values that, and it looks like the good story was going to continue, but the fact is, Jorginho is a great player, but he's quite a specialist player in many ways, and I think most Chelsea fans and most people that watch football, without disrespecting Jorginho, could understand how N'Golo Kante is a better fit for this current style of football that Frank Lampard employs at Chelsea Football Club. So, what does that mean for Jorginho? In fact, he's probably more similar to Billy Gilmour, who of course is a lot younger, and personally, this is just my opinion, I think Billy Gilmour is better at getting a foot in for interceptions and tackles. Granted, I know if you look at the metrics, Jorginho's tackles and interceptions are good, but it's just the way Billy Gilmour goes in and executes a lot quicker and snappier than Jorginho. Does this make him more appropriate for that role? I'm not so sure, you know. But the thing is, when it comes to Jorginho, of course his agent has talked quite a lot in terms of, oh yeah, he could have got a move to Juventus if Sarri was there. He's a really desired player, which is probably all true, to be honest, even if it is the agent talking too much. But Jorginho himself, the player, does look very, very happy at Chelsea. He's learned fluent English now in the time he's been at Chelsea. In fact, he learned basic English really quickly. He seems to love his teammates, and he seems to be a really good trainer and hard worker. The kind of player that you probably don't want to lose, especially when he's, got leadership qualities. It's just perhaps, is he going to fit in a lot better in another European elite team where he starts every game? Maybe, and maybe he sort of earns Chelsea a lot of, transfer revenue by transferring him as well. It's a difficult one to say. So I want your thoughts and opinions on this Jorginho situation. Let me know in the comments section below as we move on to the next story of today's video. And that is Malang Sarr, the French left-footed centre-back that we bought. Remember Malang Sarr? Didn't really see him much. He sort of took a picture of himself in a Chelsea shirt, trained a little bit at Cobham, and he's an absolute beast, man. He's not the tallest centre-half, but he is built and sculpted like a Greek god. This man is incredibly hench, and he's, a good footballer that was highly rated in France and now is on Chelsea's books, and of course, away on loan at Porto. Now, Porto faced Manchester City in the Champions League last night and kept a clean sheet, kept out Pep Guardiola's men who have been, putting 4 or 5 or 6 goals past Burnley or whatever it is, which is a very impressive feat to keep a clean sheet. He played on the left of a back three, obviously as a left-footed centre-back, that suits him, but he can play in a back two as well. He had a very, very good game actually. His movements up pitch were impressive, didn't lose any ground duels, and high level of concentration with a skillful left-footed centre-half is a very positive thing to see for Chelsea fans from, it's a high-profile game, a high-profile performance when Ethan Ampadu kept out Tottenham for Leipzig and had a really good performance. We all recognise that, so why not do something similar for Malang Sarr playing for Porto against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Chelsea's centre-back partnership of Zouma and Thiago Silva is of course very impressive, but we all know that it's a fleeting thing. Thiago Silva is a temporary fix, and yes, his replacement might not come with the sort of instantaneous leadership qualities that Thiago Silva has, and that will probably be difficult. It's been reported many times that Frank Lampard does want another world-class centre-half in the summer to maybe, come in and start rotating with Thiago Silva, and if Thiago Silva gets this 1-year extension, he can sort of, help the new centre-halves play even a little bit less, but still play some games, and Chelsea can be easing themselves into the future with top-class centre-halves. But what will become of Malang Sarr after this 1-year loan at Porto? Should he be considered? Of course, he's a left-footed centre-back, and they're apparently incredibly rare these days, or you pay a premium to get them. And he's a skillful, good defender. Like I said, he's not the tallest, but he's built incredibly well, and Chelsea might consider him, because he's French as well, partnering him with Zouma in front of Edouard Mendy, he speaks French. Maybe it could work. I know I keep talking about this French communication in the back line, but at first, you can see how much it helps out when a defence is settling. Should Chelsea consider bringing Malang Sarr as a starting centre-half for next season, maybe to rotate in and out with Thiago Silva? Of course, Chelsea Football Club still need to sort out what's going to happen with the likes of Rudiger, who for me is probably going to be sold eventually, Fikayo Tomori, who's very highly rated at the club, and Andreas Christensen, who is a good technical footballing centre-half, but is he not fancied by Frank Lampard? He often gets bodied off the ball in the Premier League, which is quite concerning. What's going to happen with these centre-halves? So, if any of you have watched Malang Sarr more than I have, tell me about him. What do you think? I've watched a little bit of him. Do you think he could be Chelsea's solution moving forwards from next season and beyond? Express yourself down in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed today's video, ladies and gentlemen, please do drop a like. It does help me a lot. Consider subscribing if you're new for daily Chelsea Football Club videos right here on Football Therapy. Anything else, you're welcome to follow me on social media at Football Yannick. Other than that, that's me, boys and girls. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.